Now that we've got the doll here on a clean surface, this could be your bed or your table, whatever you want to do. We just go ahead and we're going to shimmy this bag up over her butt while rotating her weight from the left to her right side. We can see that now all I have to do is lift up here behind her shoulder blades, and then I can freely move the bag out from under her. Next step, we'll take our razor blade and we'll cut the tape off the legs or off of the feet and also the arms and hands. We'll be very careful to cut upwards and away from the skin in case you don't know how to handle a knife. And once we do that, and once we remove all of this, we'll see what she looks like after that. Now, it is worth noting that sometimes these will just simply pull off, but that is not the case here. So if you have like another brand of doll and you get it, sometimes you don't even have to cut this. You could just pull this and it'll slide right off, but that's not the case here. So we're gonna have to find the tape, we're gonna cut up and away, and then we're basically just gonna peel this tape where we've cut it. We're gonna peel it away. It kind of reminds me of peeling like crab legs to get the meat, even though some people really hate having to work for their food. They want it to already be caught and killed and steamed or grilled. So basically, once we do this, we'll go ahead. We don't even have to cut all the way up there. We could just cut here where it's thin, right? And then once we cut away all of this foam, then all we have to do is just pull this off, and then that'll make it easier for us to repackage this hand when we send it to our customer. And one thing that you may not have noticed because you're not here and you're not me, these are the new articulated hands by WM that everybody was asking to pay for. Oh, wait, I think it seems that we have a new development here. The update is that people did not want to pay for them. They just wanted them, you know, for free. But sadly, you will have to pay a little extra for this feature. But what you get is something very cool. You're going to have the ability to fan out the fingers. Ooh, look at that. And if you want your doll to make gang signs, this is really an awesome feature for that. So you could see that you could spread the fingers. You'll also be able to bend the fingers. Ooh, love that, love that, love that. So we're able to bend the fingers. They have some joints in there. Now, I'm not going to find out how many joints because it kind of feels like there's like not a joint right here. It kind of feels like there's only one joint in this finger as opposed to having this longer joint right here. So, you know, this one, it only has like one in each finger, it feels like. It doesn't feel like there's really another joint here at the end of the finger, like right before the nail, the way you would see in a human. But who gives a damn? It's really realistic because I think WM was thinking like, why do we have to put that extra finger joint? It's not like you can like easily bend that furthest, that distal joint. I see that the thumb doesn't appear to have the joint in the middle. It looks like the thumb only has the joint here super close to the hand itself, where these have a joint here and here. So there's two joints in these longer fingers, it appears like. The pinky having one here close to the hand, and then I think, yeah, there's another one there. So even the pinky has two joints, but with the thumb, it appears that there's only really one joint. So we can go down. Let's go ahead and raise that there, make it a little more apparent. We can bend all of these down at the first knuckle, and then we can go even further with these. However, with the thumb, it appears that there's only really one joint here, which is okay. We don't need it to be perfect. I mean, you can see that this gives the appearance of having a very realistic hand look for this WM doll. This is not a feature that is limited to WM. Many other doll manufacturers soon will follow suit with this feature. WM, YL, and OR dolls having the ability for this. Now this can be incorporated to dolls 140 centimeter and above currently for WM, YL, and OR dolls. WM and YL and OR doll, all part of the Jinsan product umbrella of dolls, are offered now in 3 different TPE softness grades of regular or firm and softer and softest. Sadly, there was no official name given to these TPE grades. I probably would have gone with something more like silver, gold, and platinum, or bronze, silver, and gold, or tin, rust, and dirt, or something. I don't know, just something a little more recognizable. But for right now, we don't really have any official names for what these are, and that's okay. Really, the most important thing is that the customer is explained to by the representative what it is that they're getting. Here in the back of the hand, we have like a little bit of molding to show the skeletal features that are mimicked by the TPE shape. There's actually not really skeletal bones in here. There's really a hand plate with the articulated pieces of metal connected to that. So if I could find a picture, I'll upload it, but I don't think that I have that currently, so sorry to say. For those watching the uncensored version off of YouTube, you'll be able to see the detail here in the labia and anal hole. We'll be able to show you that when you spread the legs here, there will be some distortion. This is to be expected. Completely normal that the vagina will not stay the same shape, right? So some people will not like that, obviously. But this is a fixed vagina. It does look like a little bit more of an open hole, so this should be good for chads, possibly giga chads. But it should fit the average guy. Now, there is a varying amount of penis girth among the population of guys. So keep in mind that no doll will fit everybody perfectly. You'll see that there's about an inch of separation here between the anal opening and the vaginal hole there halfway in. You'll see that there is a good amount of space there between where the labia begins and where the actual texture in the hole begins. But to where the labia begins to here, we'll see about 3/4 of an inch from the rim of the anal sphincter hole where you can actually put something inside to the beginning of the texture here. Now if you're going to go here from the rim all the way up to here, then you're probably looking at more like 1 3/4, 2 inches there. So yeah, 2 inch from hole to hole. But I guess it's not super important as to note that there is some stretching here between the mons pubis and the leg. We'll see some tension here. It's really not that bad though. And this TPE is quite soft, meaning that the customer may have ordered this in a softer TPE grade, which I can't remember because I left these details at home. I can always make a note of that later on in the video. This skin does appear to be dark tan as opposed to cocoa, which I originally thought it was. This dark tan skin looks like it may have gotten a little darker from the time that I started selling dolls to now. It does appear quite dark. Maybe it's just me, but this darker skin color is going to not match very well with a lighter tan color. So this also lets us know that if we're going to match a head with a body that we already have or whatever, just a reminder, it's very important to match the skin color as best as possible. And many manufacturers frown upon the practice of mixing, for example, one manufacturer's brand body with another manufacturer's brand head, such as with a WM doll body and a Doll Forever head. Many of them absolutely hate that. But does that stop many doll owners from doing it? Absolutely not. It's just about as effective as making marijuana illegal. It doesn't really take any out of the hands of people. In fact, it probably makes it even more accessible to minors. But that's a point for another day. Here's the detail on the bottom of the hands. light M-like line there on the bottom. Super realisto. And then those articulated hands looking quite good, looking quite good. We can bend those fingers back and forth. Here on the breast at the top, we can see that the areolas are on point. Get it? And here at the foot, though it is not articulated, I will say that the big toe does have a wire, very traditional for WM, and the toes here do not have wires, they're just jiggly toes, which some people freak out about in the comment section on YouTube. We can see a seam running here along the end of the doll. This is from the molding process. Down here to the feet with the light pink toenails.